Welcome to the Inner Blueprint Podcast. I'm Shawn Feurer, the Universal Mindset Disruptor. With over 20 years of turning blueprints into thriving home improvement businesses, I've learned that the strongest foundations start in your mind. Whether you're building a business or your own success, we're here to reshape how you think and face daily life and always remind you to enjoy the ride.
Every day we learn, every day we go through experiences where it challenges our vulnerability, it challenges our authenticity, we have to have hard conversations constantly.
I want to plant the seed. We're going to give you a call to action at the end of this episode, but as we're talking about this, please be thinking about situations in your life, in your personal relationships, in your business, maybe in a friendship. Where is somewhere where you're not being authentic and you're not being vulnerable? And if you take a call to action and you speak your truth, forget what you're afraid about and just lean into it, what could you create? Because let's give them some examples. I know, for me, going back just a few years, it was a couple years before I met you, one of my biggest fears, going back to some abandonment issues as a young child, I hated being alone and I was afraid. It was one of my biggest fears. And I was forced to face it, through divorce, through, shutting down and leaving my business. I literally was a solopreneur, working by myself, living by myself, and I was all alone. And I'll never forget, it was Gary Vee. He had a challenge. I was listening to him, cleaning my little downtown studio, and he said, do it right now. Your biggest fear, get vulnerable, get on social media, any platform, go live and share it. And I still remember hearing that and thinking, screw you. And then I was finished what I was doing, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like a call to action that I couldn't ignore. And so back then it was Facebook I was using a lot. I pulled out my phone. I'd never gone live. I was scared to death. I was literally shaken. I hit the live button and I just started rambling about my fear of being alone, and that right now I was all alone and I was facing that fear and just kind of rambled. And I'll never forget hitting the end button, setting the phone down and being like, holy shit, what? Like, and I'm thinking about the people that I know and love and care about that probably
who's
didn't know.
See this?
They didn't know I was going through that challenge. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And I picked it back up. And oh my gosh, love, support. And not only on that post, my text messages started going off. My phone started ringing. And for me, it was just a really powerful example.
Yeah.
If I was holding this fear of being alone while I was alone, and after sharing it, after speaking my truth, and again, you don't have to go to that extreme unless you want to. It's a good challenge. Share your biggest fear.
Instant result. Shawn shared, yeah.
But I ended up feeling more love and support and less alone within 24 hours than I ever had. And it's because I took that wall down. I was authentic. I was vulnerable. And I shared it. And because of that, I was able to get a lot of love and support. And it started me on my journey that led to me being the coach that I am today and doing the work that I'm doing. And I wouldn't have taken that powerful path if I hadn't spoke my truth.
Well, yeah. And that's, like Shawn said, think of something. And there's probably a lot of things in your life right now that you're like, I am not being vulnerable in this, or this. Don't worry about tackling all of them. Start with one. It could be a conversation with your significant other. It could be a conversation with your child. It could be a conversation with a coworker, your boss, a family member. Something that you're like, this is killing me and I'm not saying anything and I just need to have that hard conversation. And you'll feel so much better after. Maybe not instantly. Maybe you might feel a little shitty first, but it's the only way for that true connection to happen and for a change to take place.
Well, in our relationship too, we started dating. We were both pretty serious about each other, but for each one of us, you had years in a marriage where you'd been hurt, you'd been challenged, you hadn't been supported the way you felt you deserved. I had the same thing. And so here we are coming together. And I know for me, I'd had some relationship coaching on, attachment styles, and that I couldn't be a needy bitch. And sometimes I was a needy bitch. And I'll never forget, you and I had that late night conversation where we spoke our truth, you guys. And again, I don't care if you're new in a relationship or if you've been in the relationship
for 30 years.
If you want to have a really cool moment, get together with that person, ask them to speak their truth and speak. And when we're speaking our truth, what are you afraid of? For me, I was afraid of having my heart broken. I was afraid of not being appreciated and taken advantage. I was afraid about being lied about because that had happened to me in the past. And you had your own fears that you were coming into.
Yeah, so many of them. And it was like, if I tell him how much I need him, he's going to leave.
And we had both realized that we kind of needed each other, but we were afraid to speak it.
And now it's like,
it's our mantra. Like, I need you, babe. I'm a needy little thing. And when I get scared or stressed or I need some help, you're my person. And I feel safe enough to lean into that. And it's brought us the most beautiful connection because we've got the walls down. Like, it's okay to have hard conversations.
well, it's so funny because so many people say to us, like, gosh, your guys' relationship is so amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's because like we need each other. And it's so in our culture, that is such a bad thing to be taught.
We're not relationship coaches, but I know the coaches I worked with would tell me that it's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. So many people try to say that, right? And it's like, no, it's not. Like, he knows I need him. I know he needs me. And we know we're not going anywhere.
And together we're a force. But
yeah.
We need each other. It's not, I just need her. I need me too. I need to be strong. But she makes me stronger. And as I lean into that vulnerability of, you know, and it is, you know, when you have a trip with the girls and you go without me, or if I do something and we're separated, it's harder. And we both admitted it's okay that it's harder. And it's okay
like I can do it, but
I can do it. I got this.
I prefer.
I would like to have you with me whenever it's possible, right?
Yeah, it makes things so much easier and so much better for everyone involved.
Welcome to the Inner Blueprint Podcast. I'm Shawn Feurer, the Universal Mindset Disruptor. With over 20 years of turning blueprints into thriving home improvement businesses, I've learned that the strongest foundations start in your mind. Whether you're building a business or your own success, we're here to reshape how you think and face daily life and always remind you to enjoy the ride.